Megan Olivi backstage at UFC 170. I'm joined by Justin Bua, who is such a talented artist. And you're here for the fights as a fan, but you also brought a gift. Tell us a little bit about what you brought yesterday.
I brought a painting of Ronda Rousey, the greatest of our era, and it was just an honor and a privilege to paint her. And it just shows the dominance of not only this sport as it's starting to occupy the sports world, but also of women coming up and showing their own.
How long did it take you to paint?
I can't really tell you that because then everyone would think that I'm so good. No, I'm kidding. It took me a couple weeks because I do a lot of preliminary sketches and value keys and color keys. I work very classically and very traditionally. So.
Very nice. Now, how long have you been an MMA fan? Because we've seen lots of other artwork that is MMA related, but I want to talk to you about the beginnings and when you first became a fan.
I became a fan before the UFC, before the inception of the UFC. That's how insanely fanatical I am. I'm a fanboy. So I used to go to Little Tokyo in downtown LA and rent Pancras, K1, just all kinds of crazy underground stuff because you always wanted to know who was the toughest. UFC came along, Hoist, Gracie, started renting all the tapes, Hickson, and I was crazy. In fact, I was so fanatical that Art Davie, the former owner, I used to cold call him and pretend I was a journalist from the San Francisco Bay or from New York Post, and I would actually ask him questions and pick his brain. He would talk to me. He wouldn't because he couldn't Google me. He had no idea who I was. So that's how much of a fan I was. I was so inquisitive when I was at Art Center, when I was at college learning how to paint. I was a huge fan.
This is the greatest story I've ever heard. All right, who are some of your favorites to watch right now?
Right now, it's such an evolved sport. So some of the more evolved players in the game, Anthony Pettis is like 2.0, Barao 2.0, Jose Aldo 2.0. There's just so many people. Ronda 2.0. So many people who are taking Conor McGregor. Oh my God, scary! It just angles coming at you. Such a smart fighter. So you're getting a little bit of the Michael Jordan natural genetic genius of these people. Then you're getting like the Larry Bird, if I may use basketball metaphors.
Yep.
Okay. So and then you're getting a little bit of the Larry Bird like court wisdom, the high IQs in the game. So there's a lot of people who are just really on my radar to paint because there's some amazing people coming up.
What do you think about the evolution, since you have been watching for so long, where it used to pit one discipline against another, where you were only focused on one thing, and now these kids are being raised to do mixed martial arts? I mean, is it cool for you to watch from where it started to the athletes that we have walk into the octagon now?
We've come a long way since Pat Smith and Ken Shamrock, a long way since Dan Severin and, Chemo, a long way. And right now it's just crazy. I mean, my daughter's 9 years old. She's fully into it. She loves it. She watches it. She's a practitioner. So the kids right now, I mean, we have no idea. Who's the next LeBron? Who's the next Jordan? It's coming. We don't even know how. The levels are going to be so high soon, it's going to be insane. It's like American Idol Season 1.
Yeah.
There were good singers, but now the genetic pool to pull from, because everyone knows about it and everyone can train for it, is so much higher.
How much training do you do?
I do enough to where I've torn my deltoid, and I don't do so much anymore.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No, I love it, and I want to get back into it because I'm a huge fan. And really, to paint it, I want to understand it. You have to be involved in it to really understand it.
Absolutely. Now, I just saw your painting with Anderson Silva and Vitor Belfort was released, where, the old footer cut, we like to call it, foot in the face.
Yes.
But what other moments in UFC history are in your mind right now that you want to paint?
I actually just did a painting that's reminiscent and inspired by Matt Hughes' rear naked choke climbing on Frank Trigg's back. Of course, Anthony Pettis off the fence.
Yes.
Like, if I could capture that moment in its entirety and in the spirit of how incredibly dynamic it is, that's a painting I definitely want to do. There's so many moments of the sport where you're like, that is a classical, key, monumental moment that are now ingrained into the DNA of our MMA fanboy mentality.
Yeah. Now, have you been to our UFC offices?
I have.
What do you think of the art there? I mean, I think we could use some of your work, right?
I think you definitely need some of my work. I mean, it would be in good company. Damian Hirst is an amazing painter. There's some great artists on the wall, to be honest. But yeah, I'm up there. You know what I mean? I'm doing stuff that's very allegorical and more narrative. I'm more of a storyteller kind of an artist. I'm not as contemporary in a modernistic mindset. I like to paint. real people doing real things. I grew up painting, the icons of hip hop, the DJ, the MC, the b-boy, the graph writer, the people on the street, the unsung heroes. And these people are really the unsung heroes as well. These are the heroes of our time. Kids look up to these people. So you have to immortalize them, and that's what I'm doing. I'm actually a visual documentarian immortalizing the greatness that we're seeing unfolding. This is part of history.
I love it, and I would love to look at some of your paintings while I'm in the office. I really think they could be a great addition. We'll talk to Dana about it after this.
Let's definitely talk to Dana about it, and if he's not into it, then I don't know what's happening.
Then I'll hang it in my house. It'll be fine. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping to talk to us. I know you're excited about the card. Main event prediction.
I painted Ronda Rousey finishing whoever in an armbar. And by the way, I met Sarah. She's amazing, humble, sweet, beautiful, composed, elegant. But Ronda she's really she's so next level. And then she's so great, And I think she's taken greatness by the horns, and she's going to win.
Yeah, we'll see if you're right. Thank you so much for talking to us, Justin.
Thank you.